Yeah, I think we spent a couple of hours on the map just to, play around with it. We haven't played it in any capacity, but we've, been flying around the server trying to figure out what the meta would be and just all the, just getting used to the map really.
I don't know. I think it's nice to see a bit of change. The game. It's not that it felt stale, but it is nice to have something new to work on and to try and figure out and see how. It's always exciting to see how teams, formalize and think how a map works and see how it works differently for everyone, and we'll have our own interpretation of what we think is going to work, and then we'll actually probably in a month or two, or even the first few days of the map being played, we'll actually everyone will come to a consensus about how it initially should be played, and then it'll kind of build from there, similar to what happened with Vertigo, I guess, or any new map.
Yeah, I've spent a little time on the map just finding like some grenades and just little positions like for people to play, but it's hard to tell how it's going to be played out, obviously with no games on it so far, but I've had a little look around.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting map. I think it's a very early stages at the moment, but I'm looking forward to playing it.
Yeah, we've looked at it a bit, but not me personally, to be honest.
Yeah, once. I've played it once, and I've been on the server like one time, 30 minutes trying some grenades out and stuff.
Because Nuke is our permanent ban, has been always by nature we have to play Ancient, and that's the intention. Well, we could potentially play Nuke, but because Will is a great Nuke player, but I think we're gonna try and have a go at Ancient because we last time at Vertigo we found our feet very quickly and got a good grasp of the map, and that's a credit to Max, I would say. So if we can do the same on Ancient, yeah, but it's hard to say. It's hard to know. Like we've walked around the map together and we've thought about it, how it'll fit our players, and objectively who's going to be good in different roles, and it's just so early to say. But it feels like it could be an alright map for us, but only time will tell, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting prospect, the new map. It looks quite visually appealing. And for us, it gets rid of a map out of our pool, so we have to kind of play it, to be honest. But we're looking in server time to find the little gimmicky things, the OP stuff, any set nades that we can do and stuff like that. So I think, yeah, we are going to try and pick it up quite quickly.
Yeah, I think so. As soon as when a team goes onto a map, like as soon as it comes out and just tries to pick up find grenades and little positions and just try and set the meta early, I think you always are going to be a step ahead, because I think a lot of people just push the map away when a new map comes out or some changes happen. So I think if you can just get through that and find new grenades and ways of playing, I think you're always going to be a step ahead.
I definitely think there's a lot more to do on Ancient in comparison to Vertigo, but we're really good at elevating maps pretty quickly and making them suit our own style. So I think that we definitely have the potential to do really well at it at the start and really elevate that map.
Yeah, I think once people start playing it and you can see kind of how the map's been played, I think it'll be not easy to pick up, but not too hard.
I don't know, to be honest. They made a lot of changes to Vertigo. Like when it just came out, it was a whole different map. So I've assumed they're gonna do a lot of changes to this map as well from what it is now. So I guess we'll have to see, and if it suits us or not.
Yeah, I think that probably a motivation for Valve to remove CS:GO, or sorry, to remove Train, is because it's a map that's I think it's relatively underplayed for the average player. I think that I think after I can't remember what the least played map was, but I think Train is second least played out of all the maps. I think it's only 4% of the time it gets played in matchmaking. So I think that's part of their motivation, is to remove that and introduce a new map. I think in the pro scene, yeah, some people like Train, some people despise it. I think it lends itself too much to the pistol variants. I think if the CTs win the pistols and then they stabilize their economy by winning the first buy and guarantee themselves back-to-back buy rounds where they can have double ops in those rounds, it becomes extremely difficult for Ts and frustrating, and not something that no one has really solved to date on T side. So I think it's, historically we liked it. I think it probably is one of the maps that could go by the wayside. Obviously, I think Mirage is just a fundamentally a great map, so I don't see why you would remove it. It does feel stale because it's overplayed, and it's been the most played map by some margin on all the platforms. But at the same time, it's fundamentally a fantastic map with a brilliant mid, with a brilliant 2 bomb sites, with brilliant connections to those bomb sites and an open skybox. So how could you justify removing that? So yeah, I was a bit surprised by Train, but at the same time, I can understand the logic behind it.
I think it was fairly surprising just because they've reworked Train back in a few years ago. They changed it a little bit, so I thought that wouldn't be the map they would move. But it is what it is. We have to move on with it, and luckily for us, we can just pick up Ancient hopefully and dominate.
Definitely. I think with Train, it's a really hard map to play, and personally, I think I always struggled on that map. But I think overall, I think another map like I guess Dust 2 or something could have gone out instead, because I think with Train, there's still like so many things you can do, and it's actually just a really difficult map to play as a team. Like it's hard to, you have to spend a lot of hours on that map to get it down. So I think something like Dust 2 could have a few little changes and be taken out instead. I think just with Train, it's been updated obviously in the past, and I think it's a good map to be played at the moment, and teams are still figuring out how to fully optimize their playbook on that map as well.
No, Train sucks, so I'm happy it's gone.
I'm not surprised that like Dust 2 or Mirage wasn't removed, but it's a bit of a shame that like Overpass and Nuke wasn't removed instead.
Don't know. I'm not really surprised. That's it. I mean, I always like something fresh. It's always nice to get something fresh, but I'm not really surprised, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I didn't really care about my map got removed, so I don't know. Don't care. Don't know. I don't know what to say.
I have loads of concerns about the map, as there's FPS issues, just the player skins. But a lot of the tournament organizers now, every time we go into an event, we're told to remove the skins, or there's an amnesty between the teams where we agree that, if there isn't something in place by the organization, we just agree on the server to not play with skins, and that seems to be the consensus among all teams and all players. So I don't see that part being an issue. I think that more so the FPS is going to be they need to resolve that rapidly. But we're there's going to be so many changes to the map, I'd say, over the next few months. There feels already that there's a lot of exploits, and there's some clipping bugs that we've already found as well. So
I know people in my team have had issues with the FPS, but I haven't, because I just got a new PC, so lucky for me. But I think potentially there are going to be problems with the skins, but most tournaments ban them anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that. But I guess it's just the optimization of the map for the people with not new PCs, I guess. I just could have a problem with the FPS.
I think personally, going round on the map, it seems like it still needs to be optimized properly. In terms of FPS, my computer's it's decent, but it's not the best. And I still find for FPS, it's on some parts of the map it could be it can drop and then go back up. And in terms of visibility as well, I think agent skins will definitely, in actual tournaments, for pro players, should definitely not be used at the moment, because some of the darker skins, or the green colored ones, it'll be almost impossible to see them. So I think that definitely needs some work. Either they need to be not played on that map, or in terms of certain positions on Ancient, I think it needs to be brightened up or something like that.
I've had no issues with the player skins, but I think the FPS issues, when there's a lot happening around the map, it causes a lot of sort of FPS issues. But I'd imagine Valve will fix that pretty fast, because that's what they did with Vertigo. They sorted problems out really fast when they integrated the map into the pool. So I'm not really that afraid, or not afraid. I'm not really concerned about it.
No, I haven't had any problems so far, and I don't really think the agent skins will be a problem, except in like matchmaking and stuff. So it's not really an issue that I'm worried about.
Yeah, the map is terrible for FPS. Man, I just bought a new PC like 3 months ago, and I'm lagging as shit on that map. I don't know how. I just got below 200 FPS, and I bought a new PC 3 months ago, so there's definitely an FPS issue, I'd say.